Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for popping in for another little crafty catch up. I hope you're having a lovely day. Lots of exciting things going on, so I hope you're managing to keep up. Now today I thought we'd have a little look at a project that is very achievable if you're one of our new followers, but also if you're one of our followers that's been stamping for a long time, a seasoned crafter, but you need a quick project. Let's face it, how many of us, even though, I have a calendar in the utility room and it's got all the birthdays written on it, but how many times do I suddenly realise there's a birthday tomorrow and I need to make a card and get it in the post ASAP? I'm sure I can't be the only one. So this is if you need a quick card, or if your mojo's just gone a bit. And what we're going to use is we're going to use one of the Scenescapes. So I'll just bring the finished design to show you. And as always, decorated the envelope with my VersaFine Clair inks and also on the flap at the back. Again, it's so nice to have those matching envelopes. So I'm going to put that to one side and put that to one side. I have so many one sides, don't I? And I'll bring in, so this is one of the Lavinia Scenescapes. And this one of my favourites, it's called Orange Hues. And obviously, with orange being my favourite colour, that's why I went for this one. Now, you may just get a bit of reflection from the surface on the light, so I can only apologise for that. Right, I'm going to put that out of the way. Now, I've got to be honest, you get, I think it's 4 in a packet with these. Now, whenever I'm putting an order in with Tracy, I always add a pack of these, so I've got them in for emergencies. So it's useful doing that. And have a look, there's such a lovely selection. And look, the whole background is done there, ready for you. So it's just a matter of starting some stamping. And let's face it, we've got so many stamps that would go with this. And I'm going to start off with our lovely Bella. Where is she? She's on a block here ready. And I'm going to stamp permanent ink, so it's the VersaFine Clair, and I'm going for the Nocturne. Now I'm just going to turn mine sideways, make sure my block's not on my finished product. Now again, nice light tapping. Now I want to be mindful when I stamp her. I want her in the moon here. I'm just checking you can see. And I'm not worried if she doesn't go to the base here, but I just want her directly in that moon there. And again, when you stamp on these, make sure you do a nice, firm stamping. A little bit like, when you're stamping on acetate, you just want to be careful it doesn't slide and smudge a little. So try and do a nice firm stamping. Always make sure you've got one hand on your block at any time. Don't take them both off. And then we'll give that ink time to soak in. As I say, a ready-made background. We'll lift that up and there we go. She stamps beautifully. But what I am going to do is just give that a bit of a blot, because I don't want the ink to smudge. You'll find the ink dries quite slow on these. So that's just one of the little tips I can give you. Now what I want to do, the first thing I want to do before I finish my stamping is just ground our little Bella here. So for that, I'm going to get my acetate hill masks and number 1, which for me is the flatter one. And we'll just put this here. Now, when I was looking for the colour to use, I looked in my background and I'm working with my background. And the fact that we've got this lovely purple around the moon, that gave me the idea to do my hill in purple. So I've gone for my elements and the violet chalk. It's a beautiful colour, this. I must admit, I've used this so much recently. And again, I'm just going to go for about let's have a look. And you can move this along, look. Just take your time and look for a nice, I think we'll go there. So I'm going to dab, as always, stencil brush in the lid and then flick it down, coming off as always, come off the acetate, the mask. Want it quite purpley. If you want to see how you're doing, just lift that up. Oh yeah, that's plenty. So I shall pop that lid on and just wipe my mask, because again, just with the Inky Binky, I don't want to get dirty fingers or to put this away dirty. So I can put that back and I know exactly where that is. Now, when I turn that round, look, you're building up the picture already. And because we've got the wispy grass here, look, just going to add a couple with a fine liner, wispy grass there, just to make it look like it's all part of the design. So, shall we add some more stamping? Now again, when I got to this stage, I actually looked in my, you know I have this thing about looking at my stamps and seeing the stamps I haven't used for a while. And I went for this one, she says. And it's called Fern Heads. Now this is one of my older ones. I've had this some years. So I thought it's about time I used this. And I'm going to stamp this. Now I want this to look more, it's in the background. So I'm going to go for a purpley colour. And in my VersaFine Clair, when I looked, the Monarch is a purpley colour. So again, I'm using the background to look and see what colours I've got that'll go nicely with it. And I'm just going to do a few stamping with this. We'll have one here. Again, straight down. And then I'm thinking, let's have one at an angle here. And then we'll just put one at this side. And again, I'll alter the height. Straight down, lift up. There we go. So again, just clean my stamp, give it a wipe. And what's lovely about this is it builds up very quickly. And I'm going to come in now with my English Bluebell. And I'm going to stamp this in black because I've got my main image in black. And it will also bring the Bluebell to the foreground. I just want a few of these. I don't want to overdo it. So let's have a look. We've got a space here, I think. Oh, I think maybe there. Yes. And then we need one here, don't we? Turn it round and one at this side, just coming off the page. It's always nice to have part of the design coming off the page. Looks like you've taken it from a bigger print. Now I don't need any more down here because what I'm thinking is, on my original I came in with the field grass. And what I'm going to do with this is, when I looked at the colours, again, I didn't want to do it in black because I've got the black, I've got the purple, so I looked at what other colours were in my background, red. And you know, I've got this, Glamorous it's called, and I've had this a while and I don't use it very much. So it was a good excuse to get the red out. I wasn't sure at first how it'd look, so I sort of took a deep breath on my sample when I did it originally. But I just think the red, look at that. It just looks beautiful. And it's such a, I think you can get away with almost a brighter colour because the field grass or the orchard grass, they're such wispy stamps that I think if I'd have done the, what's it called, the fern head in the red, wouldn't have looked right. It might have been too bright and in your face. But because this is such a lovely wispy stamp, and I think that makes a difference. I've put a first and second generation there. And then I'm thinking just one more here. Like I said, I don't want to overdo it. And give that a bit of a wipe. Now, the other thing I've noticed is where there's the black here. I don't know if you can see. You almost get the stamping. And what I'm going to do, just with my Inky Binky, it stays wet longer. And also I like that black to actually stay black. So for me, with my Inky Binky, just going to gently rub that bit of ink, almost to get rid of the stamping in that area. And then that lovely black foreground stays solid. And if I'm very careful, I won't smudge the rest. And it just, for me, gives me a nicer foreground. Now you see how quickly that built up. Now I just want to frame the top. It just looks a bit bare, doesn't it? You could have a sentiment banner across there, but I just want to mimic that shape. So if I turn the design round, and I'm going to come in with the snow shrub. And again, if you're not sure how it's going to look, you know, use your acetate, pop it on. Now, I want some across this corner, don't I, stamping? So we'll do that one across there. That's nice. And then this corner. And this I'm doing in black. So I want to, let me just angle it so I want sort of across there. Now I want something in the middle here. So if I turn my stamp, if I can just get those three, if I turn it round, you see how it needs something in the middle, but I don't want it to come too far down. I want to mimic the shape of the moon. So let's have a look. It was those three, wasn't it? So if I can just, she says, try and get just those three there. If I turn it round, just let me wipe my stamp while you have a look. So can you see how that nicely is mimicked that shape? And I think it just frames the whole design, but you've still got the space there. So we'll turn that round and give it a bit of a blot. So lovely to work on these. And we'll get rid of that. And we'll just add some finishing little details now. So I just want a piece of kitchen towel to lean on. And if we just come in with our, just going to tidy up a little bit so I've got space so you can see what I'm doing. So I've just got my white gel pen and we can just add some little highlights. We'll highlight the moon. And we'll just highlight Bella. I'm not going to overdo it. And the same with the bluebell. And this one here. A new pen works beautiful on here. Maybe a little bit on there. Just a few here. Don't want to do too many because I almost think it looks like it's overdone. A few little highlights there catching. And we've got these gorgeous orbs, look. So maybe we'll just add a couple of highlights in, a couple of the orbs. Yeah. I think that's pretty, don't you? And I think, you know what, where her wing is, I didn't on the original, but this is me all over. I'm thinking I've got a purple gel pen here. So I'm thinking I'm just going to add a little bit of purple. I often do this. Change my mind. Yeah, I like that with, just think that just adds a little bit to it. And what I'm going to do is bring in just a piece of black card to put underneath to show you how it frames it. Look at that. And then when it goes on the orange, or you could put it on purple. So pretty. Now, for the last little thing, we're going to use some of the liquid pearls. And this one is Petal Pink. Now with this, I would always recommend going to pop it on the snow shrub. I always just test that it's working, which it is, but then I need to wipe that up, otherwise you know what will happen, I'll be putting my arm in it. And for me, I find the best way is almost just to dab and almost pull up straight away. We all have different ways of using these, but it seems to be the way that works for me. And I almost just sort of get in a bit of a rhythm. And I'm just putting one dab on each. And I'm just going to turn it round. And again, I'm trying to remember to lean on my kitchen towel. So again, just a nice even pressure. And if I pull up, there we go. And then we'll just have a few down here, round the base and on these little grasses. Again, I don't want to overdo it, but just, I think it'll add to the balance. Sort of won't look top heavy then. Now you can add glitter if you want. And that's all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I have to say, these scenescapes are just marvellous, aren't they? I mean, look at that. Didn't take long at all. Now, obviously, you'll have to wait for this to dry before you mount it. But, I mean, you could batch card make these. And again, I've left this without a sentiment. I'm just going to bring the original. I've got to try and lift this up now. Maybe we'd try from the bottom here. So if I bring that one in there, maybe just move my lamp a little. And just bring that one in. Put it on the black. Just so you can see. As I say, there are so many. If you go on the Lavinia website and have a look, there are so many of these to choose from. I mean, doesn't it look different? I mean, like I say, we've got the orange there. You could put purple behind that. And it just changes it. I bet you've got so many stamps you could use on this, you know. I'd love to see what you do. Maybe have a go and put it on and tag me in. I always get so excited when I see what you've done. You're such a clever lot, you lot. Anyway, you take care. Go and grab that brew and that cheeky biscuit and enjoy it, especially for me. Maybe a bit of Battenberg cake. What do you think? So you pop back soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.